The year's coming to an end and you are now probably start thinking about your life goals, health and relationship goals for the next year. But have you thought about your personal finance goals? Here are the 7 financial goals that you can implement to increase your wealth in the next year. Now, first of all, let's talk about one of the most important elements which could really accelerate your wealth, which is increase in income. Now, I do hate to say this, but a lot of time people do focus too much on cutting down the spending side without really thinking about increasing the income. But you can cut down so much of your spending until you actually live in the poverty and have to eat bean on toast every day. And the truth of the matter is, the more money you earn, the more it allows you to save, the more it allows you to do all the things that we are going to be mentioning in this video later on today. And in the world of the internet today, it might not be as difficult to increase income as you may think. And to give you general ideas, the first thing that you can do in order to increase your income is simply to get a higher paying job. According to oneeducation.org.uk, some of the highest paying jobs are the chief executive and senior managers, entrepreneurship, medical practitioners, judges, enterprise architect, and the list just goes on. Now, as an accountant myself, I am quite pleased to see chartered accountant listed as one of the high paying jobs, because although I'm not a chartered accountant, I am a chartered certified accountant. I mean, same but different, lol. So I feel like I'm going the right way, the right direction in terms of trying to maximize my income. But it hasn't always been the case for me. If you don't know this, I am an immigrant. When I first moved to the UK, I actually had to work in a really low paying job and work my way up to where I am today. So it can be the same for you, looking at where you are in life right now. If you're not on the path that you can get into these high paying jobs, then maybe you want to consider retrain or career change. However, if you have a hobby or a specific talent that you think someone will be interested in paying you into doing that, then you might consider having a side hustle that you can do on the side of your daytime job. Because as we all know, our daytime job, our salaries are fixed, well, for most of us anyway. So consider doing freelancing, coaching, online tutoring, or selling some sort of products that you can design yourself. When it comes to spending, if you want to build wealth, then you are going to have to spend less than you earn. This is the concept that everyone, all of us, have to live by, and is the key to financial freedom, and unfortunately there is no way to go around it. Being able to increase your salary either from side hustles or an income salary negotiation is absolutely great. However, you're not going to get ahead if you are still spending more than you earn. And you can do this by, first of all, differentiate between the wants and the needs. And of course, all of us is unique. Your needs are not going to be my needs, and my needs are not going to be yours, but we all need to identify what are the wants and the needs for us and our family, and focus most of the spending on the needs and less on the wants. And apart from identifying the needs, you also want to identify that some of the things that aren't maybe not the needs, however, they are important to you, they are of value to you, and they bring meanings into your life. And you can focus your spending on those things and cut back on the things that don't add value to your life. And once you identify all these things, then of course you put them in the budget and you follow it through for the rest of the year. Now, by the way, at the end of this video, I'll be sharing my specific financial goals for 2022. So if you want to know what my goals are in general and you want to compare it with yours, then stay tuned to the end. And if you like this kind of content, then be sure to subscribe. The next financial goal for the next year is to have a fully funded emergency fund. Now, if there's anything that 2020 had taught us at all, it would be that life happens. In Psychology of Money, Morgan Housel said that things that never happened all the time. So emergency fund is kind of like an insurance policy, if you may, that will protect you against circumstance changes in life that you didn't think was going to happen, so that you're not forced into having to borrow at a high interest rate and then having to pay it back over certain numbers of years. The figures released in June 15 highlight that 1 in 5 of UK adults, or right around 19%, is having less than £100 in savings, and more than 1 in 10, or 13%, of UK individuals have no savings at all. And in terms of how much of emergency fund you need, will kind of depends on your circumstance. In general, we are advised to have right around 3 months of spending saved as emergency fund. However, I would say personally, if you're in a job that are quite high in demand, and you know that if you can find find a new job very quickly, then perhaps 2 or 3 months is enough. However, if you're in a job that there aren't that much demand out there and you know that it is normally going to take you months and months to find a job, then you might want to have right around 5 months or 6 months, and for some people over a year of emergency funds saved up. Now, if you still have some debt to pay off, then your financial goals for 2022 should include paying all or part of those debts. There's so many theories out there when it comes to debt payment, and the infamous one is the debt snowball and the debt avalanche. However, that's another topic for another video. Now, if you're someone who still have some debt to pay off, and if you're able to pay all of them off, then by all means do pay all of your debt off. However, if you have a limited amount of funds to pay off the debt for next year, then do focus on paying off the high interest ones and the ones with variable interest rates. And the reason being that because we're living in a high inflationary period at the moment, and the majority of the time when there's a high inflation, the government wants to combat it by increasing the interest rates. According to The Guardian, the Bank of England could increase the cost of borrowing as early as mid-December, putting an extra squeeze on households already struggling under the rising cost of living. So it is now very likely to see interest rates going up in 2022, and therefore it's really important to tackle your variable interest rates debt first, and most of the time that will be your credit card debt. The next one is tracking your net worth. Now, I feel like net worth is not very emphasized or not very talked about so much in a personal finance community, but at the end of the day, isn't this the whole point of being good with money and increasing wealth? The whole point, isn't it, to just increase your net worth? Now, if you don't know what net worth is, it is basically a total amount of your assets minus the total amount of your liabilities. The example of assets could be cash, stocks and bonds, cryptocurrency, or even Rolex watches. Now, liabilities could be your debt, your loan, mortgages, and student loans. And net worth matters because it gives you your overall general financial health. And while your net worth is a useful tool in itself to compare your net worth against other people, however, it's even particularly useful to compare your own net worth over time, because everyone's situation changes a lot. Sometimes your income increases and sometimes your costs fluctuate. However, in general health of your finances, your net worth should be increasing over time. And in order to maximize your overall financial wealth, you need to focus on the 3 pillars of wealth creation, which is your income, saving, and investment. Now, in this video, this is not a video to tell you which one you should be investing in. However, I think that everyone should be investing in something that is best suited your level of risk that you can take and give you the rate of return that you're after. Because having a side hustle to earn you extra income, or having different jobs that generate you different level of income is good and all that. However, we all have a limited amount of time each day. We only have 24 hours a day, and we can only work so much until we reach the point of total burnout. And investment is a great way to allow us to use our existing money to make more money, and that's why investment is crucial in wealth creation. As for my plan for 2022, I honestly do have quite a big plan, and I believe that I can follow it through. First of all, in terms of income, I actually just got a new job not too long ago. I just passed my probation actually, but I'm hoping that by the end of next year I'll be able to negotiate another 15% pay rise. And if you watch my side hustles video, you would know that I did consulting work on the weekends for small businesses, just giving them like accounting software consulting. However, that contract has now come to an end, so I need to find another side hustles to fill my weekends income gap. I do have a few side hustle ideas. In terms of savings, as a family, we are putting right around at the moment 30% of our after-tax salaries into different savings and investing pots. One of them is pension, of course. I am big on putting money into pension. We also put some money into index funds, and some of them on the individual stocks, and also quite a lot of them now actually are on cryptocurrency. And for the next year, in terms of investing and saving portfolio, I don't think that will change, so we'll put money into the same place. However, instead of saving 30%, I am going to aim to save 40% of after-tax salaries into savings and investing. And I do know this is really ambitious. I mean, for me, I feel like 40% is a lot, but you've got to dream big, you know, and that's kind of it for me. What about you? What are your financial goals for the year 2022?